Hi guys, quite a lot of you asked me about some recommendations for a preamplifier to be used with the clones that I reviewed, meaning Musical Fidelity A1 clone and DartZeel NHB108 called D5 Pro clone. These are both power amplifiers, so they would need some kind of preamplifier to get the best sound quality. What I've done is I basically asked the shop that I'm getting these clones from for some recommendations. And the preamplifier that I got recommended for working with Musical Fidelity A1 clone is Transaudio JC2 Max, which basically is clone of, maybe not exactly clone, because the diagrams and schematics are in public domain now. So this is basically based on the build of Mark Levinson 2 created by John Crow JC2 circuit. Why this one is chosen to be match for Musical Fidelity A1? The first thing is the sound. It has really great quality sound. I'll get to the details later in the video. But the other reason, very simple and practical reason, is this. Musical Fidelity A1 clone is quite small, so the preamplifier would probably bring it to be about the same size. So the build quality of the amplifier, it's made of solid aluminum, as you can see, or you will be able to see in a second once I open the case. Yes, it's made of thick aluminum plates, which are very good for conducting heat. We have one pair of RCA inputs, and we have one pair of RCA outputs, and also we have one pair of balanced XLR outputs, which is a very interesting thing because we are able to drive two power amplifiers simultaneously, one with RCAs single-ended and the second one with XLRs. So what do we have inside? The first thing, volume setting is done by good quality Alps volume pot. The power source is R-core transformer, which is basically superior and with less noise than traditional toroidal transformers, which are also good, but this one is better. Now let's turn it this way, and the amplifier section. As you can see, we have two exactly the same PCBs, one on top of another. One is for left channel and the second one is for the right channel. What do we have here? We have the power section here. Then we have a DC servo section built on DP07D operational amplifier. This is basically a high precision amplifier used in measuring equipment, and DC servo is removing any DC bias component from the output level. And the second chip here, it's not an operational amplifier, it's a balanced line driver by Burr Brown. Meaning basically the Texas Instruments at the moment, because as far as I remember, Burr Brown was bought by TA. So we have pure Class A output stage with DC servo removing bias, DC bias components, and the output from the Class A stage is driven to the single-ended output and to the balanced line driver for the XLR outputs. The build is very elegant and very simple. We can see some ELNA capacitors here and here. We can see some MKP capacitors. and that's basically it. Very simple, very clean, and very elegant build, but only with one input only. So this is basically working like preamplifier with one single-ended input only. Very simple build, and what's important here is the fact that this is one of the few Chinese constructions that had actually been measured on the audio precision instruments. Now let me use my video editing techniques and do some picture-in-picture animation. And here we are. Okay, so this is this preamplifier, and as we can see, it has some really good parameters, because it says signal to noise ratio is 125 dB, dynamic range also 125 dB, channel crosstalk 106 dB, because basically these are two monoboards which are completely separate. THD distortion 3 zeros at the beginning, yes, THD plus noise 3 zeros at the beginning, IMD distortion 2 zeros at the beginning. So basically, the numbers wise, this is a very clean and very precise instrument. It's a very clean and very detailed preamplifier, and this is actually confirmed by audio precision measurements. Let's go through the more interesting ones. Okay, THD ratio, as I said, 3 leading zeros after the comma, after the dot. Yes. Then we have THD ratio, also 3 leading zeros. THD plus noise, one channel is slightly different, but also 3 leading zeros. Okay. What do we have? Crosstalk gain, output voltage. Here we have signal to noise ratio, over 120 decibels. This is an excellent result. Phase variation, there's almost no variation at all. Frequency response is basically completely flat, and frequency response deviation is plus minus 0.049 decibels. So it's basically really flat. And we also have some nice diagrams for THD and THD plus noise, I think, ratios. So THD ratio with generator level, basically the input voltage, input volume voltage, and we can see that with 100 millivolts we already have 0.0005% of THD. So all in all, the numbers say that this is a very clean and precise construction. So how does it sound? I've tested this with both amplifiers that I have, with Musical Fidelity A1 clone and D5 Pro, which is DartZeel clone, and beginning with the usual suspects. So basically bass, mids and treble. Bass, mids and treble to my ears are ruler flat. No V-shaped smile, no problems with lack of bass or lack of treble. The mids are exactly as they are getting out from the digital to analog converter. So basically this device disappears. You cannot see any added or subtracted characteristic that this preamplifier would give to your sound. But that's not all. It's very detailed, and the sound is nicely holographic and layered. This probably comes from the fact that it's very precise, that it has this great signal to noise ratio. So highly detailed, very transparent. The sound is, let's say, the frequency spectrum is flat, but it's not dry and it's not warm. It's just right. It's exactly the same sound that you're getting out of your digital to analog converter. There's some very nice depth to the 3D imaging. not all equipment is able to convey this dimension in the holography of the sound. It's quite easy to get the wide stereo image, but it's harder to get the layered information about the depth and about the height. And this simple small preamplifier does that job brilliantly. Okay, what else? The important thing, it needs a couple of minutes to sound best. Couple of minutes being like 5 to 10 minutes, which is quite short. It doesn't get hot at all. It's nicely warm in touch, but nothing hot, nothing that you would say may be suspicious. I was actually measuring the insides of the amplifier with my laser thermometer, and it was maximum temperature was like 40 degrees centigrade on the radiators here, but the rest of it was like 25, 27, so completely nothing, completely safe. What else? There's some very nice texture to the sound. Very nice texture to the bass, very nice texture to the human voices in the mix. This is something that I wrote in my notes when I was doing some critical listening sessions last night. Compared to just the amplifier alone, adding this preamplifier gives you more body on the instruments. Instruments like guitar or like piano are getting more palpable, more like you can actually hear. I know it sounds stupid, but you can actually hear the weight of the instrument. Yes, something like that. It's very hard sometimes to describe the sound that we hear with vocabulary that we use. So all in all, great addition to Musical Fidelity A1, especially that one, because you can bypass the volume controls on A1 clone. Check my video about that. And instead of this two separate volume controls and problem with setting exactly the same volume level when you change the volume, you can use this preamplifier and you can set the volume precisely using this one potentiometer. It has a nice scale, nice precise scale, if it means anything for you, because I'm always myself setting the volume level by my ear, meaning that it's either too high or too low or just right. Okay, what else? The price and the shipping. As always, I'm recommending the shop that I'm linking to in the description of the video, because the package was perfectly packed. It arrived safely. Nothing wrong with the package, nothing wrong with the foam insides, and as you can see, everything is in perfect order here. Now, speaking about the price. The price can vary because this particular build was like $250 including shipping, but you can see some prices ranging from $250 up to, I think, $400 was the most expensive one that I found on AliExpress. So as always, try to get some coupons, try to wait for some kind of sale. But you can also get this particular one, you can also get from the eBay store. So if you prefer eBay, if you feel safer with eBay than with AliExpress, you can order that amplifier from eBay as well. So, all in all, summary. Great build, great construction, great elements, great parts, and great sound quality. And it's matching with color and size the Musical Fidelity A1 clone. So highly recommended if you want to add this nice texture, this nice heft to the sound, that the beautiful sound that Musical Fidelity A1 clone produces. This will be a very good choice for you. And you can get this into colors. The first one is the silver, as you can see here. The second one, the second version is a very funky version, which is basically gold on the outside and red with the red top lid. so it looks really funky, and it's catching the eyes of your guests. But I'm more, let's say, traditionalist, and I prefer my equipment either black or silver. So that's it. If you have any questions, if you'd like to ask me about anything, just do it in the comments, and we'll do a slow showdown of the components inside now. Because you know, the shaky videos in the description of the channels have to mean something. Yep, that's it. Very simple build, very good quality case. Highly recommended. So, see you soon. I'll be reviewing 2 more preamplifiers that I got at the same time, so stay tuned for my other videos. Have a nice day, guys.